The Horror of Red Hook, Part 5. Then came the June wedding, and the great sensation. Flatbush was gay for the hour about high noon, and penitent motors thronged the streets near the old Dutch church, where an awning stretched from door to highway. No local event ever surpassed the Sidham Gerristen's nuptials in tone and scale, and the party which escorted the bride and groom to the Cunard Pier was, if not exactly the smartest, at least a solid page from the local register. At 5 o'clock a dew were waved, and the ponderous liner edged away from the long pier, slowly turning its nose seaward, discarded its tug, and headed for the widening water spaces that led to old world wonders. By night the outer harbour was clear, and late passengers watched the stars twinkling above the unpolluted ocean. Whether the tramp steamer or the Scream was first to gain attention, no one can say. Probably they were simultaneous, but it was no use to calculate. The Scream came from the Sidham stateroom, and the sailor who broke down the door could perhaps have told frightful things if he had not forthwith gone completely mad. As it is, he shrieked more loudly than the first victims, and thereafter ran simpering about the vessel till caught and put in irons. The ship's doctor, who entered the stateroom and turned on the lights a moment later, did not go mad, but told nobody what he saw until afterward, when he corresponded with Malone in Chepachet. It was murder, strangulation, but one need not say that the claw mark on Mrs. Sidham's throat could not have come from her husband or any other human hand, or that upon the white wall there, flickering for an instant in hateful red of legend which, later copied from memory, seems to have been nothing less than the fearsome childery letters of the word Lilith. One need not mention these things because they vanished so quickly. As for Sidham, one could at least bar others from the room until one knew what to think of oneself. The doctor has directly assured Malone that he did not see it. The open porthole, just before he turned the lights on, was cloaked for a second with a certain phosphorescence, and for a moment there seemed to be an echo in the night outside with the suggestion of a faint and hellish tittering, but no real outline met the eye. As proof, the doctor points to his continued sanity. Then the tramp steamer claimed all attention. The boat put off, and a horde of swat, insolent ruffians in officers' dress swarmed aboard the temporary halted Cunarder. They wanted Sidham, or his body. They had known of his trip, and were certain reasons were sure he would die. The captain's deck was almost in pandemonium for an instant. Between the doctor's report from the stateroom and the demands of the men from the tramp, not even the wisest and gravest seaman could think what to do. Suddenly the leader of the visiting mariners, an Arab with a hateful negroid mouth, pulled forth a dirty, crumpled paper and handed it to the captain. It was signed by Robert Sidham and bore the following odd message: "In case of sudden or unexpected accident or death on my part, please deliver me or my body unquestioningly into the hands of the bearer and his associates. Everything for me, and perhaps for you, depends on absolute compliance. Explanations can come later. Do not fail me now. Robert Sidham." Captain and doctor looked at each other, and the latter witnessed something to the former. Finally they nodded rather helplessly and led the way to the Sidham stateroom. The doctor directed the captain's glance away as he unlocked the door and admitted the strange seaman. Nor did he breathe easily till they filed out with their burden after an unaccountably long period of preparation. He was wrapped in bedding from the berths, and the doctor was glad that their outlines were not very revealing. Somehow the men got the thing over the side and away to the tramp steamer without uncovering it. The Cunarder started again, and the doctor and the ship's undertaker sought out the Sidham stateroom to perform what last services they could. Once more the physician was forced to reticence and even mendacity, for a hellish thing had happened. When the undertaker asked him why he had drained off all of Mrs. Siddham's blood, he neglected to affirm that he had not done so, nor did he point to the vacant bottle spaces on the rack, or to the odour in the sink that showed a hasty disposition of the bottle's original contents. The pockets of these men, if men they were, had bulged damningly when they left the ship. 2 hours later, and the world knew by radio all that it ought to know of the horrible affair. Please come again.